Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Today I want to talk to you on the subject matter, saving America from the world of evil. As spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, that each human have for being on this earth in this form of body during these times, a physical body on this earth, a creation and an action of God. As such, you are entitled to survive after birth. Each child coming into this world, protected from abortion, is entitled to live, which involves food and clothing and shelter and education and health care and transportation, etc. And each is as guaranteed to this child as the evidence of the birth of this child. As a human being, an instrument of divine intervention, peace, prosperity, freedom, joy, happiness, and living our dreams is the way of life designed by creation for all humans. That means all of us. To legitimize this process, resources needed to aid any creative action by we the people have been made available on this earth, in this earth, above this earth, some seen and some unseen. It has been provided as a gift for humans to accomplish their ends. Because every human benefits in this plan, every human is designed. Let me back that up. Because every human is designed to benefit in this plan, every human is also designed to participate joyously in the effort of production, distribution, in every level of the process. Everything produced by the people belongs to the people to meet their needs, to meet their wants and their desire, and is there for them to access at their leisure. This process is the benefit of a divine system which permits the creation of heaven everywhere. To maintain this divine system, all parts work together for the good of the whole. No viruses permitted. Viruses used to deceive, such as lies and cheating, and stealing, which is major in establishing poverty. It will bring with it more crime and violence, thus establishing the atmosphere for hatred and racism and bigotry and terror, killing and war. Where living has produced such results, it is evidence of a corrupted program. It is evidence of a corrupted program, a divine system corrupted. It represents replacement of authority. The divine authority is invisible, allowing each person to reflect that authority through their participation in life. The replacement of invisible authority with human authority, visible authority, reflects the absence of family compassion and love with selfishness. physical authority, a person, rules and regulations of selfishness. A president, a prime minister, a king, a queen, a pharaoh, or maybe a pope. They are forced to do that which works against the people, that works against the family, as well as the individual. Freedom freedom of the people, freedom of the people lost to the freedom of the few. So that must mean freedom of the masses lost to the freedom of the few. Excuse me for that. All right, so let me continue. So, of its evidence is obvious in forcing birth in uncanny situations without the protection of guaranteed sustenance of life, food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, etc. Better yet, humans now must compete for everything through a process stacked against the masses. Any people that had experienced the divine system but failed to maintain it will see freedoms dissipate, loss of basic human rights for all, change to song, others can't vote or assemble, certain subjects like books banned, slavery reinstituted. When this situation occurs, it represents that many have lost their way. However, the path is still available. Returning to the path takes God to be successful, because to do so means resisting every act of the man-human system that is not in union with the divine system. Divine system was asleep for quite some time in order to be co-opted by selfishness. Divineness will not return to the people overnight. It can return to the individual overnight, but the evidence is unique. In resisting every law that is not in union with the divine will bring with it great challenges, abuses, threats, jails, prisons, and even death. This is why it takes a return to the invisible power to withstand such evils. You can't fake this. To return to the divine system, the selfish must be discarded. Claiming change back to divine, yet obeying the everyday system of selfishness is hypocrisy and could never enter the divine spirit. People who choose to return to the divine system until the masses awake, the few, let me see, I got this right now. Let me redo this. People who chooses to return to the divine system until the masses awake. The few, early ones, will face great persecution, but it's welcomed. To some, they will defend themselves against aggression, but none will kill to win, for they have already won. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got a little tacky there, and I want to apologize for that, but let me see if I can summarize in 2 minutes. What I've just said is this. As a spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, my job here is to come here and tell human beings that we are all living in sin. Every human being on the face of the earth is living in sin. And really, we're living in hell. Living in these physical bodies on this earth is living in hell. My job is to remind you that the reason that you're living in hell is because you discarded the principles of life for a deceptive one. You have pulled off the invisibility which is open for you to allow to be expressed through your living. 8 billion people, allowing that one God, that same God, to live in each of us that is concerned about those things that I mentioned. Or someone that comes by and deceives us and say that that is not the best way, that there is a better way, which works better perhaps for some, but worse for others. That's a virus that's coming in to destroy the systems. And that is what had happened in the beginning of time. And we've never recovered from that. However, we have always been able to recover. Now, in order for us to recover as a system, as a people, we would have to allow God to come into our lives almost instantaneous or quickly. But that ain't finna happen unless some miracle occurs, which can happen, but it hasn't happened. So what I'm actually trying to say to you today, ladies and gentlemen, is this. We're all living here in this body, in hell, but we weren't designed to live in this hell. We have been deceived, and in that deception, we've accepted living in this hell, but we've done it because we don't know about the other way out. I want you to know that there's a way out. The way out is to resist this. To resist this. Resist it. Totally resist it. It's like dropping some oil in water. It's just not going to mix. Oil going to be on the top. Righteousness going to be on the top. That means you're going to stand for what is right wherever you are. Righteous means that which works for people. That unrighteous stuff is that which causes pain and suffering for people or against people. And you ain't going to stand for it. That is the person who has affirmed his relationship with God. The one who has gone and eaten out of the trough and been converted and stands up. Now, why is this so important? This is important because this one can only do this if he's real. People going to church, when you go to these mega churches, look like basketball games, a football game with number of people, and you probably couldn't find one that would do what is required. To stand up for righteousness for every individual and not accept anything else, knowing that if you don't acquiesce, out of all the things that can happen to you, you can and probably will be killed. And you welcome it. You welcome it. Why? Because your faith is in God, the invisible power, not on man. As far as man knows, you go get burned up or put you in the ground. You don't really know what happens, but you're not worried about it. You're not concerned about it because you're going to die anyway. And you be darned if you're going to walk around here calling yourselves important, somebody, knowing that there are people hurting, knowing that there are people suffering, knowing that there are people who need a doctor, can't get health care, knowing that people can't get education, and because somebody is exploiting them, using them. But that's what happens in hell. This has been promised to those who do not walk according to the will of God. To those who have said, I'll do my own thing. You're going to get here in hell. And the only way to get out of hell is resist doing your own thing. Resist doing these things that people say do that doesn't line up with the spirit of God's love for us and our love for God. Resist it. Hey, baby. Now you're going to die. Can you think of a better way of dying? If someone put you here, some power put you here to express just that, and you do that, what are you worried about? So, I hope you're getting my message. So next time Eddie Marcus say, goodbye.